Today I'm visiting one of the 100 best gardens in the UK. Doddington Place Gardens is a hidden gem located between Linstead and Newnham, just off the A2 between Faversham and Sittingbourne. I know some of you were lucky enough to visit the gardens last year with Stepping Out, so whether it's a happy reminder or your first virtual visit to Doddington Gardens, I hope you enjoy. The gardens are open from Easter Sunday until the end of September, every Sunday and Wednesday. At present, due to COVID, tickets have to be booked in advance and you're given a time slot for arrival. There is ample room for parking, or cars can be driven right up to the entrance of the house with prior authorisation if you have mobility issues. At present, the entrance to the gardens is via the courtyard. This is where the toilets are located, and it's also where the entrance to the tea room is, which is where you enter the gardens. The tea rooms serve light snacks, cakes and drinks, and weather permitting, there's an outdoor seating area. When the weather isn't so good, such as today, there is a light and airy conservatory, or a snug homely area to sit and indulge yourself before or after walking around the grounds. Where possible, they try to use local produce. I can recommend the chocolate cake and coffee. At the entrance, you're given a map, free of charge. There's no set route around the grounds, but I decided to go clockwise and started at the Woodland Walk. Wellingtonias are also known as sequoias or giant redwoods. They are among the tallest and oldest living things on the planet. The tallest is over 300 foot tall, and the oldest is over 3,200 years old, although these ones were planted in 1863. Next along is the Woodland Garden. I usually try to visit woodland gardens in the springtime. This is because the plants that have lain dormant all over winter burst into life and rush to get their flowers produced before the trees can put on the leaf canopy and cut down the light that's coming to the woodland floor. So although there won't be many flowers, there are lots of interesting shapes and textures on the leaves, such as these Ligularia and hostas. Are called sunflowers, such as these astilbes or these lace-cap hydrangeas. The paths on the whole are usually flat and level, and approximately every 20 to 30 metres there's benches, so you can have a sit and rest if you want to. At the moment, mid-July, there's a lot of hydrangeas in flower in the woodland, although in the main spring flowering period it would be rhododendrons, azaleas and camellias. There are lots of different varieties of hosta dotted all over the woodland floor. Here's a variegated salt next to a pulmonaria, a cosmia in flower and a regersia. There's also these rather nice Persicaria and Plexicorus. At the end of the Woodland Walk is the Folly. And it would seem I'm not the only one trying to keep dry on a wet Sunday afternoon. The Folly was built in 1997 by the present owner as memorial to his first wife, Alexandra. Leaving the Folly, there's the Folly Walk to the other end of the garden. On the left hand side there's views over the Newnham Valley and the parkland, and behind the hedge on the right there's the Pond Walk. The pond is one of several that are in the gardens, and it's bordered by the unusually shaped yew hedges, about which I'll tell you more later. The Pond Walk is an avenue of betula trees. They are probably the variety Betula utilis jackmontii, or Himalayan birch. On the other side of the hedge from the pond garden is the spring garden. This is another seating area, and it's also got this metal installation. At the ends of the Folly Walk, Pond Walk and Spring Garden, there's a large lawn area that's planted up with specimen trees, and it leads down back to the house and the tea room. The yew hedges are one of the most notable features of the garden. The yews were clipped and trimmed normally up until the Second World War, but during the war they were neglected, and then after the war the owner, John Oldfield, decided to keep the hedges in their intriguing shapes. Next comes the rock garden. The rock garden was constructed before the First World War using Kentish ragstone from a quarry near Maidstone. In recent years, the garden has been totally renovated, but it still contains much of its Edwardian character and framework. The planting is a mixture of traditional rock garden plants, pond plants, grasses, shrubs and trees. Several tons of additional stone were incorporated in the new rock garden, as well as stone from a rock garden in Ireland, and overall 500 tons of rocks were moved during the renovation. There is a series of descending pools, and the largest one has a viewing area. One side of the large pool has been built up to resemble a quarry face, with water trickling down it. Some areas of the rock garden have been planted up with drought-resistant plants, such as these Nepophia and Perovskia. This plant is called Phlomis, and it comes from the Mediterranean region. It's also called Jerusalem sage, or the lampwick plant. Phlomis is ancient Greek for flame, and it may refer to when the leaves were used in ancient times as candle wicks. Most of the paths are safe for walking if you're mobility impaired, although some, such as this one, the gully, clearly are not. Again, there's lots of places to sit down, but for some, such as this one, you're going to need your umbrella. From the rock garden, there's stairs that lead up to the sunk garden. There's a good view over the rock garden. The sunk garden has 8 flower beds. The flowering display changes continually throughout the summer. The boatmen were having a busy Sunday afternoon on the pond. There are many different types of herbaceous perennials, and there's lots of striking dahlias here. There's a purple pom-pom variety next to an orange-red cactus variety. Here we've got two varieties of the same plant, Eringia. This is the white sea holly, and this is a blue sea holly. The sun garden leads into the dahlia garden, which is beside the house and the tea room. Then that's the end of the tour, and we're back at the courtyard by the tea room. And there's some old lawnmowers they got on display. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you again next week. Bye.